Kumsin of the Federation of Labour said that there are lots of robots working for the government. When their batteries run down, they stop misbehaving. You realize that Mr. Martin Amidu has just gotten a new battery to go and misbehave. What he's doing is it just shows you that not all grey hair comes with wisdom. Because at the end of the day, you have a man who has written a letter to the SFO claiming that somebody has committed some crime.
The SFO in the UK.
In the UK. And the SFO in the UK has not even as much as acknowledged to say we have received your letter, because for them that letter is weak in logic, is lacking in intelligence, and is flawed in law. The report upon which you claim that there is a crime that has been committed is clear that in relation to Ghana, Airbus offense was that it breached the OECD governance rules. What are the OECD governance rules? That the company, any legal entity, any company operating within the European jurisdiction can engage the services of a lobbyist, but should not pay that lobbyist in excess of 5% of the contract sum. In this instance, Airbus paid the intermediary, who we are told is Samuel Maham, paid him about 6.8% of the value of the contract. So that is the offense. The offense is not that they engaged him, the offense is that they paid him more than the limits that OECD governance rules allow for. If they paid him, it was not government of Ghana who paid, it was Airbus that paid. And that is why Airbus admitted wrongdoing and paid a fine. At the end of the day, the man who gave a bill to Airbus has also not committed an offense. He gave a bill. Airbus should have said, we are bound, because that OECD governance rule does not bind individuals, it binds companies. And so he gave a bill. The company was under a duty of care, responsibility to say, your bill is in excess of our threshold, so we cannot pay, and negotiate. Once they fail to do that, they erred. Again, nobody can establish. And you see, the NDP is putting out a lot of lies. You hear them say that government of Ghana has causing financial loss to the state. The state lost money. Which money did the state lose? Again, people must remember that in 2011, when this whole conversation happened about buying of the Casa airplanes, Martin Amidu was the Attorney General who gave legal advice okaying the purchase of those aircrafts. Derek Oduro, who is today Deputy Minister for Defense, was part of the parliamentary delegation that went to inspect and get parliamentary approval. So if in the unlikely event any public officer actually did benefit from a bribe, it is Martin Amidu and Derek Oduro who benefited from a bribe, because they gave legal approval and parliamentary approval.
So why do you think this is an issue now, and the special prosecutor is raising all of this now, virtually targeting?
Simply because the Mahama Jenana ticket is enjoying a lot of goodwill, and yet another robot has been activated by the Flagstaff House to throw mud. But it will not work.
You think these actions are politically motivated, and the special prosecutor is not doing his job as an independent?
It is simply meant to take our minds away from the corruption in this government. If Martin Amidu was really serious about fighting corruption, has he not heard that the deputy director for Maslock and the deputy chief executive for Maslock and the deputy MD for Cocoa have been taken to charge by civil society for abusing public office for personal gain in the just ended MPP primaries? Should he not be prosecuting those people? Has he not heard that government officials, including Pius Enam Hajide, have engaged in visa racketeering? Has he not heard all of those? The man is not interested in fighting corruption. He is simply working at the whims and caprices of his chief accomplice, the chief agent of corruption in Ghana, President Akufo-Addo.
Are you worried it may end up affecting the tickets? Although you say right now that it's enjoying a lot of goodwill and all.
How will it affect the ticket? This so-called Interpol red notice is the Interpol in Chebi. The international police, Interpol, has not issued a red notice for Mr. Samuel Mahama. I'm sure Mr. Samuel Mahama has had a healthy English breakfast this morning. He's a person known to law enforcement in the US, in the UK. He's living a normal life, going about his normal duties. The UK has no problems with him because he has breached no law. You think that the UK would know that someone has breached a law in this manner and would allow him to continue going about his regular duties? And you should ask yourself, if Mr. Amidu is not a petty, bitter old man, how do you go and seek an arrest warrant for an individual who you have not invited to aid in your investigation? Normally, you would invite an individual to aid the investigation. When that individual fails to cooperate, that is when you seek recourse to a law court to get an arrest warrant to compel that person to cooperate. Ask Martin Amidu if he has even sent an invitation to the man. And look, you don't need to think far. This whole process started when? 4 months ago. 4 months from today was end of February, early March. That is when it was referred to him. When was the border shut in the country? Middle of March. So when did you issue him an invitation? And even if you did, how would he have come? You see, when you are driven by hatred, you put your intellect to sleep, and you are moved by emotions. This is won't fly. John Mahama and Jenan, that ticket is solid. It is causing the old man sleepless night. That is what has made the man go into isolation.